Hi, I'm Roxy Rose, and I'm here making another video clip. Another day, another video clip, it seems like. But I'm making video clips, and if you haven't seen my series of videos, they're basically what have to do with transsexual or transgender transitioning in, midlife or late in life, as with me. I started my transition at 47. I'm 49 now, so that's a bit late to be starting, but it's never too late to join the party, girls. And if you're older than that, don't worry. Everything happens in its own time, and you'll be just fine. And don't get too panicked or stressed over it. Today, what I want to talk to you about is counseling. If you have already gone through counseling, well, great. I'm really proud of you. That's a great first step. If you haven't gone to a counselor or a psychologist, I'm trying to suggest to you and advise you, get that started. I know that you're going to need that letter for hormones. If you decide to transition, and then if you decide to have gender reassignment surgery, you're going to need those letters too. So get that all started. But those are only a few reasons why to get counseling. They're very helpful. And a lot of the trans women out there are so intimidated by going to the counselor or going to a psychologist. Some of you may be in the closet, not out to your family or your spouse. I know a lot of us are kind of stuck in a situation. It may be a marriage, and it may be, we might just be housebound and not be able to get out and do the things that we want to do. And we have a hard time making that first step. It is a very difficult one, and I'm very sympathetic to you girls out there that are trying to come to terms with it. Having waited, 45, 50 years, sometimes we want to just give up and tell ourselves that life is over and why should I go get counseling? Well, go get it. And life isn't over, and there's plenty of time, and it's not too late. Go get your counseling. It's really helpful. I always had the mindset that I didn't want to go to a counselor because I always thought that I knew more than they did, at least about myself, I don't want somebody telling me about me. I always thought that I knew more about me than anyone else would know. But that's not really true. That's a very closed-minded way of thinking. I went to the counselor because I needed a letter to get started on hormones. And I knew that I would be having gender reassignment surgery someday. I haven't got it yet, but I'm hoping for it someday. And so I knew I needed those letters. So it was a big step for me to go get counseling. And I went in it with the mindset that, I'm going to go get my counseling, whatever, how many visits do I need? 6 visits, and then I'm out of there. And, well, that was 2 years ago. I've gotten my letters that I need, but I'm still going to counseling because every time I go to the counselor, it seems like I have something more that I need to work on, And it's funny about that, it just kind of evolved. I've gone through a lot of different stages in transition. Coming out was difficult, and then having my family react so poorly was really difficult. And counseling helped. They can't fix your relationship with your family, but at least they could help you kind of accept it and come to terms with it yourself, so you don't sit there at home blaming yourself and wallowing in that horrible depression that us trans women have to deal with so often. So yeah, I thought that I'd be in and out of the counseling office and get my letter and I'd be done with it. But like I said, that was 2 years ago. And now, since I'm going through a divorce of a spouse that I was with for almost 30 years, my counselor's been really helpful. I was lucky enough to find a counselor that's a trans woman herself. She's a great little gal, and I've just been really happy with her. And if you can, try to. There's plenty out there. You can go to the LGBTQ community, and they'll have recommendations for different psychologists, and hopefully you'll be able to find one that suits your needs. You don't need to get a board certified psychologist. You will be able to get your paperwork from the right counselor. A lot of times a gender counselor will work in conjunction with the psychologist, and between the two of them they'll be able to provide you with the letters that are necessary. So there's a lot of price difference between a psychologist and a counselor. I went the counselor way because it is quite a bit cheaper, and Roxy Rose is just a bargain hunter. Bargain hunter to the core. So anyways, go get your counseling. It's a hard first step. But once you get it, you're going to be really thrilled. It's going to help you in so many more areas than just getting your letters for your surgery or for your hormones. So do take advantage of that. And like I said, go to the LGBT community centers, and they'll be able to recommend a good one for you. Hopefully you're not too far out in the middle of the country that you could, find somebody near your area. I know that with me, I'm kind of out in the country, and my first attempts at a psychologist in the area, so I wouldn't have to drive very far, were somewhat unfruitful. Although there were psychologists, they claimed to be experienced in gender counseling, but when it came right down to it, no, they really weren't there for gender counseling. And it was something like, well, I knew more about the issues than they did, and I could tell pretty quick. So find yourself an experienced gender counselor, and hopefully one that's very familiar with transgender issues. So anyways, that's just a little bit of information, and the most important point of all this is go make that first step and go get out there and get counseling. And don't worry, they're not going to turn you down and say, no, Roxy Rose, you're not a transgender person, and send you on your way packing. That's not going to happen, and I know that's a real big intimidation for a lot of transgender women. They think they're not going to get their letters. They will get you'll get your letters. That's not what counselors are there for. They're not there to turn you down and tell you different. They're there to help you, and so don't be intimidated by that. And get your counseling right now. Go out and get your counseling. Anyways, this has been just a little tidbit on counseling and transitioning late in life. I got to run right now, so I'm going to let you go. I happen to have a date for lunch this afternoon, so I'm kind of excited about that. So wish me luck, and I'll see you on another video. And please watch my other videos, and when you get a chance, send me a little letter. Tell me what you think, and if I've misstated something, or if you want me to address something, send me a letter and tell me so, because I really like getting letters, and I appreciate those people that have already sent me letters and messages through YouTube, or you could send them directly to me if you like. My email address is myroxyrose@gmail.com. That's MYROXYROSE, and at gmail.com, and send me a letter and tell me what you think, or just say hello. So this has been Roxy Rose. Look forward to seeing you on some of my other videos. Bye-bye.